It's easy to get overwhelmed by a big renovation project. We're still very much in the process of figuring out what to tackle first. Taking it day by day and focusing on the next small step ahead is what keeps us grounded. This has been our approach to finding this magical place and buying this house, and it will be our approach in the renovation of our farmstead too. Dreams are brought to life by living, one step at a time.
This week, while we are setting everything in motion to get new contracts for electricity, water and LPG, we will see what chores we can do around the property with the tools that we can find. Today, Isis's mom has arrived. She is visiting us for a few days.
Ah, deze had ik ook nog meegepakt.
Een bijl.
Dat is nog een nieuwe bijl. Ja.
One of the reasons we bought such a large property is so that there is room for her to live here permanently as well. In a few years' time, we will help her renovate the building across the street into a comfortable home. The ground floor of La Casetta was used as a granaio, a granary, in the last few decades. But we suspect that back in the day it used to be a living space. The style and number of the windows seem to be too nice for storage. The basic structure of the building is still in great shape, but the roof needs to be urgently fixed in a few places and ultimately redone. Though time is taking its toll, we think it has a lot of character and untapped potential. Alsjeblieft. Uw huis.
Prachtige slee. En ja, ze moeten nog dingen maken.
On the floor below is a large cellar, the cantina. The previous owners used to make and store their wine here. There are still 2 very large wine barrels and 2 grape presses. The floor is semi-interrato, partly underground. This means that on one side ground and rainwater may seep through the wall. We are exploring various solutions to address this issue, such as installing a French drain. There's also a really special feature in this room. There is a tiny cave in the wall that goes under the road. It's kind of like a fridge, as it has a constant temperature year-round of approximately 7 degrees Celsius. Opposite to the Casetta is an outbuilding with several rooms. On the far right is a garage-like space. Next to that is the legnaia that used to house firewood, but now contains some wire mesh and scaffolding tubes. In the back wall there used to be a window, and there also was a door to the garage. We'll talk in more detail about our plans for this space later, but we definitely will be opening up the old windows and doors again. The next room is the Essiccatoio. This was originally used for drying chestnuts. And finally, underneath the Essiccatoio is the pollaio, the hen house. When we go around the back of this building, there's another small doorway that leads to a space underneath the legnaia. It contains a lovely vaulted cisterna, a water reservoir.
Här var skruva.
It's not currently collecting any water because there's no gutters on this building.
Ja. Och god, dat is een open citern.
So what I just did is clip the peony plant and the little hibiscus tree, and I cleared the little steps that go down from the garden onto the street because I followed one of the previous owners' advice they gave me yesterday to clip them now so that they have beautiful flowers in the spring.
This afternoon we had the second surveyor visit. They basically both confirmed everything that we already thought and were super happy that there were no surprises. After a first quick inspection, they found that structurally the buildings are surprisingly sound for their age. The lintels and beams are in overall good condition, the ridge beams and rafters are still okay, but the battens will need to be replaced before putting on any insulation and the roof tiles. They both said that the moisture problems in the old farm that we showed you last week are indeed not as bad as they seem. The most important bit is to fix the holes in the roof so that it doesn't get worse. Among the old liquor in the sala we found 2 unlabeled bottles of homemade wine. They're probably at least 15 years old, so we half expected it had turned into vinegar. Hij ruikt goed.
Ja, dat ruikt niet naar azijn in ieder geval. Dat is wel die sprong. Hè? Ja. Wil jij aan schenken? Schoon kleur.
Moet je even proeven, mevrouw?
Ça va nog? Ja?
Oké, nou, dan gooi ik hem vol.
Maar een klein beetje.
Wauw.
Nou, proost.
Je moet wel even gaan zitten.
Ja, dat is goed.
Is goed toch? Ja.
Ja.
Ja. Is goed, hè?
Ja. Zalig.
Let's show you the stalla, the stables. At some point the stalla contained about 10 cows, but now it's just cobwebs. Above the stalla is the Fienile, the hayloft. It is a magnificent space with very large windows and over 5 meters of height in the middle under the ridge beam.
So what I'm going to do now is do some digging to improve the water flow away from the house, because now when it rains it kind of forms a puddle in front of the house which can then seep into the walls. And last year there has been barely any rain, but you never know. So just in case Piemonte gets a really rainy spring this year, we are going to fix this issue. 2 days ago, we met with a geometra and he told us this was rather urgent, so we are trying to fix it now. We have, the rain pipe is 8 centimeters diameter, and we have an extra piece of pipe that's 10 centimeters. Yesterday we went into town to try and find the right piece to connect it to, which sadly was an unsuccessful expedition. So we are going to fix that when we come back in the spring, but for now this will have to do. And I'm going to have to do some digging to make sure that the water drains properly and it doesn't just flow back into the rain pipe.
The Fienile hayloft still contains a residue layer of old hay waste. We don't want moisture to get trapped in that hay, because it might damage the floor, so today we will clear it out. Ik ben weg. The wall paint on the lowest section of the wall is bubbling. As is common in old stone houses, there is a bit of an issue with moisture rising up from the floor.
These were the first 2 weeks at our new house. Tomorrow it's time to go back to the Netherlands. We'll come back in the spring. We don't know yet exactly when, maybe sometime March. And I think it's going to be 2 long months of waiting to be back here.
I think these were 2 fantastic weeks. I didn't get to have the house electrified or have running water or gas yet, but we did buy the house and we're here and we did stuff and it felt awesome.
And all of those things are on the way as well. We would have had electricity if our real estate agent would have made a tiny mistake. I mean, they're perfect, they have been amazingly helpful, but they did make a tiny mistake with the electricity. So that should be fixed soon. We had one gas company come around to make an offer. Well, we still have to receive the offer, but they came here to check out the location and see where the tank should be. We do have water outside the house, just not yet inside the house, because either we are overlooking something really obvious or there's some missing information that the previous owners didn't tell us. We made progress, but we didn't get exactly to where we thought we would be. And I think it was just mostly lovely, really, really lovely to be here and do stuff and get to know the house and the gardens and the lands, which we haven't even begun to explore properly.